Welcome back. In this video, we're going to use a flowchart to trace the execution of a program, that being a guessing game program, so we can better our understanding of how programming actually works. Now, what we've got over here is a program that's called a guessing program. What it actually involves is it's a game where the user inputs a number between 0 and 10 in the attempt to try and guess a random number that the computer has generated. When the user guesses the correct number, then the program finishes and it congratulates the user. Looking at it running, what we've got over here is the Python implementation. So when I hit run, it's going to say, tell me a number between 0 and 10. And let's go 3 in this case. And it's going to do it again because obviously 3 wasn't the right one. So now I'll choose 6. Not quite. 5, 9, 7, 8. It's going to have me keep guessing for a while by the looks of it. And finally we get to 1 and the program says you win. Now let's have a look at how this program works. So at the very beginning it says set upper to 10. So what we've got is a variable called upper. So let's draw a little bucket that symbolizes that we have a variable. So let's go little bucket and we'll write upper. Then next line of code we have set lower to 0. So we've got another variable called lower. And finally underneath that it says set number to random number. So this looks like it's some form of number generated within the computer. So random. If I had to guess, I would say that this is a number that we're trying to find when the program's running. Now, goes over here, following the arrow, it says print. Tell me a number between 1 and 10. So what's going on here is we're now being cued by the program to look for the number. And under that it says get. Get, guess equals user input. So here's another variable, guess. And guess, by the looks of it, is a number in which the user enters. So we're trying to match guess and number. Underneath that we've got our conditional block and it says if guess is equal to number, then print you win, congratulations, and terminate the program. Otherwise, if it doesn't equal this number, then we go back and it looks like it cues the user to tell me a number between 1 and 10. So get a number between 1 and 10. So ask the user and try again. So basically what happens is in this part of the program here, we initialize or we set the initial conditions of these variables upper, lower, and random. After that, we ask the user to input a number. So this is where the game actually begins. Put a number into the computer, store it in the variable guess, and then compare if guess is equal to the number that the computer generated. If yes, you win. If no, try again. So these 3 blocks of code here, it looks like these are going to be the most active. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use a table to trace the behavior of the program here. So we'll go down where we've got lots of space and we'll go for a black pen and we'll write step. Our first variable looking up was upper, lower than number. So we'll go upper, lower than number. Number being the random number generated. And then we've got print, tell me a number between 1 and 10, down to guess. So guess is our final variable here. And then we'll just put in the console trace as well, because it's always nice to see what's going on with the console, what the program's outputting to the user. Okay. Now let's throw in some initial steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I'm sure we're going to get lots of steps here. Now going up, we're going to write step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, 6, 7, and we'll leave it there for now. So after that, during step 1, we're just entering the program, so guess a program, or guess a number. So we're not going to get any information in any of these guys here. Alright, now let's go to step 2. So set upper equals 10. So in step 2, upper equals 10. So we're going to change this to 10 like so. Then the rest are just blank. Step 3, we set lower equal to 0. So upper is still 10, lower is 0, and everything else, nothing's occurring. Next one, number equals random number. So this could be a problem when doing the trace, in that we have to generate a random number. Now the one in which I'm going to choose for this one, and it's just hypothetical, is, well, in the program conditions here, we had 1 as our randomly generated number. So let's just throw 1 in here. One. Then we'll have 10, 0, nothing, and nothing. And then next step, step 5, print tell me a number between 1 and 10. So what we got down here is everything will be the same, except now we're going to ask the user print a number between 1 and 10. Blah, 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 like so. And then our guess is still nothing. We haven't initialized that variable yet. Going up to step 6, guess equals user input. So this is where the user has a guess or has a stab in the dark of what they think the number is going to be. Now, once again, we can't really know exactly what this is always going to be, because it's always going to vary between 1 and 10. Because it's up to the user to input the number. But let's just follow the pattern here. So we started off with 3. So let's just assume that we put a value of 3 in, like so. We're going to get 10, 0, 1, and we're not particularly interested in the console output now, because that's all done. Alright. Now step 7, we're at if guess is equal to number. So have a look, is number and guess the same, so 1 and 3? The answer is no. So we're going to follow this code or this path of execution, the no, and it's going to take us back up to tell me a number between 1 and 10. Print a number, and the values 10, 0, 1, and 3. They're all unchanged. Step 8, we're going to guess equals user input. So the user once again has to take another stab in the dark. Let's say upper and lower, they're going to be the same. The number's going to stay the same. And let's say, well, we guessed the value was 6 in this program here. So let's throw in 6, like so. And then, once again, it's going to go 10, 0, 1. And after we throw in 6, it's going to do a check. And of course, 6 is not the number. 6 and 1, they're different. So we're going to go back up, and it's going to ask to print again. Alright, we've done the print. we're going to guess. So the user's got to guess once more. Now the program over here, we guessed 5 on our third attempt. So let's throw in a 5. And we have a look. If guess is equal to number, is 1 and 5 the same? No, they're not. So once again, we have to follow the path of execution that says no. And we go back up and we go into print. And what that's going to do is our variables will stay the same. And we're going to print some stuff on the screen. Now we could go on and do this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more steps, but let's skip to this final condition here. So let's just say ... and we'll just put in the number n, standing for, we don't really know what line we're up to, but we'll just assign it the variable n. And we'll say upper is 10, lower is 0, number is, we'll say 1, and then the user has inputted 1 like so. Then this is going to stay red. And plus 1, so 1 line on. We're going to go for this compare condition. If guess is equal to number, the answer is yes, and print congratulations. So evaluating this, if guess is equal to number, nothing really changes here. So 10, 0, 1, 1. Then we're going to print, you win, congratulations, and plus 2. You win, congratulations, and then and plus 3. We're down in here, so this would be n plus 1, n plus 2 it should be. So the condition in which we enter the right numbers, n plus 2, n plus 3. Guessing game program is over, so finish program. So what we're effectively able to do once more is we can observe the behavior of the program by following the arrows in the flowchart and then writing down the values of the variables as we progress through the program. Now the difficulties of this one is such that, well, when we're getting a random number here, it's going to be different because by definition a random number is different every time. So number equals random number. So we can't definitively know. We can only guess some of the conditions, or guess some of the conditions. In this case we said it was 1. And furthermore, the user input, we can't always guess what the user is going to input either. It's always going to have some degree of randomness. So once again, we just have to have a stab in the dark. But even still, we've got this really nice tool to help us get a better understanding of the behavior of this program.